I'm Sandra Cotterell. I'm the CEO of the Codman Square Health Center, and I'm also joined by Meg Campbell, the founder and executive director of Codman Academy. So we'd like to welcome everyone.
A little shorter. Thank you, Sandra, for that introduction, and thank you for being the incredible, devoted leader of the Codman Square Health Center. A very close partner. We live inside of the Codman Square Health Center. As has been mentioned, our school is the first school in the country to be housed in a health center and has recently inspired a second school out in Springfield at Bay State Academy, to follow this replicable and sustainable model. Our students are drawn from some of our most challenged neighborhoods in Boston. 99% are students of color, and 75% are eligible for free or reduced lunch. About 26% have identified special needs.
What a special day this is at Codman Square. Like I think Meg said, the joining of a health center with a school, the programs that will be available, innovative, creative opportunities for young people. I want to thank Sandra for all her work at the health center. Thank you for your everyone talks about the renowned Boston hospitals, and rightfully so, but I think our community health centers, like Codman Square, are just as impressive, offering quality care right around the corner from people's homes. Our residents need help. Their doctors, nurses, and volunteers provide them with the best care. So I'm happy to be here to celebrate this new and improved facility after $18 million of work went into it. I was there in October. It broke ground. It was a great day. It's also fitting that this health and education center is dedicated to Bill Walczak, a man with the tenacity and dedication back in the 70s, developed his dream from a storefront health center and began to the state-of-the-art facility we have now on Codman Square. Congratulations, Billy. Thank you for being here. And just think about it. 100,000 people come here every year for health care. That's very impressive. I'm glad that the addition has provided you with another 22 exam rooms, helping meet the demand for group visits. I believe this new facility and your top-notch staff will bring more comfort to folks who come for care. We still have to educate people that they should be going to our health centers before they go to our hospitals. First place for that. I'm also proud that the project will improve the environment for the students, like I said earlier, at Codman Academy. We were talking about the expansion of 11,000 square feet. If anybody could do it, this woman here, Meg, could do it. Let me tell you, she's done a heck of a job, and did additional classrooms, a science lab, a dining facility, this black box theater used by the students, and that's a very important part, because the only theater we have left in the city of Boston really is that's in the neighborhoods, is a Strand Theater. So you're going to be able to have this theater here available to young people, which I think is fantastic. So I also want to say, a few years ago I awarded the Codman Square Health Center Boston's first mayoral prize for healthcare innovation, because it combines healthcare education to help people address poverty. Clearly, I think there's an approach as we continue to work for the people of our city, and so I want to congratulate the team at the health center. I want to congratulate the team at the academy about working together. In this city, when you work together, you can accomplish anything. When you try to do it alone by yourself, it doesn't happen, folks. I've been mayor for a couple of years, I understand that. And so I just want to say that, in education, if it comes from a charter school, a Boston public school, a parochial school, whatever it is, it's the kids that come first. We should make sure everything we do is focused on the kids, not on the adults, the kids. And I think what Meg does and her team does, and Robert, the president of the board, keeps on coming back and back for different presidents of different boards. And your principal, who does it, been here for 12 years. Just think about that also. Thank you, Mr. Brown. Thank you. And so it's all. and your team, thank you for the quality care you give every day. These health centers are so important. Boston's a unique city, having these health centers in the neighborhoods of Boston. You know, you think what they're doing down in Washington, trying to cut out all these programs that help people. You know, they're out of touch with the world. They're out of touch with themselves. And we have to make sure that we, as a city, can keep on reminding people that what comes first are the people, and how we help people have a better life. Those guys down in Washington, they forgot that. You know, it's two Republican, two Democrat. I'm someplace in between. I'm starting my own party, a blue party. But I'm just saying, they gotta understand, this is America. America is built on people. And this health center, if they continue to cut back the programs, some of the programs Sandra delivers and her team won't be there. On the federal grants for to the doing research, you know, those folks over in China, they're just waiting for us to fall one more time, because they'll pick up all that business, do all the research in China. We'll lose that whole aspect of where the job creation is in our country and our city, especially Boston, #1 in the country on that. We gotta pay attention, make sure those folks aren't Washington. Now, you know, our guys are good, our delegation's okay, but all of these belong to national organizations. Make sure your national organization is in tune with what you believe in. That's what we have to get nationally to understand this is so, so important. So I have to rant about that because I get so frustrated by it because they're just not doing anything down there. But I just want to thank Sandra, Meg, Robert, all of the team here, and Billy Walczak, once again, your vision has worked. Thank you, the vision of 1970, historical. Thanks a million.
I'm not sure ideas are easy. I'm just gonna go out on the record and say that Meg has many ideas, Sandra, Bill, the mayor, many ideas. And I think part of the hard work is making those ideas reality, right? And how do you live the reality of your ideals? I'm going to thank you all this morning again for coming in, and thank you for being here in the Black Box. I'm usually perched over here, sort of walking back and forth as the students are all around for our community meetings on Thursday, which are 9 o'clock. You're all welcome to attend those moving experiences, student-run gatherings, where we talk about our lives and we talk about who we are and who we want to be.
I usually say that as a joke, and people, you know, we have Joel and I started a group, a band called Billy Joel, of course, and then actually we added to it. We call it Billy Joel and Talent for the other people that are involved in it. But yeah, usually after we play a song, you know, people applaud, and I'll say, "Oh, just please stay seated." And of course, nobody's getting up. Anyway. Anyway, so Tony Stankiewicz tipped me off last fall that there was going to be some kind of effort to memorialize my work in Codman Square. And I was assuming that it would wind up as a plaque somewhere. So it was quite a surprise when I drove up Whitfield Street in December and saw this enormous lettering on the Norfolk Avenue side of the building, and then noticed that it was also duplicated over here on Epping Street. It was a very strange feeling about that, and then Tony told me what the real deal was, which is I do what I'm told, or they remove one letter every month. I realize that this kind of honor has additional expectations beyond the obvious. In my hometown in New Jersey, most people think I grew up here, but I actually grew up in Jersey. There was a train station there. It's a famous train station called Metro Park. If you go down to Washington, you go through Metro Park Station. And it was renamed at one point the Senator Harrison A. Williams Metro Park Station about a month before he was indicted in the Abscam scandal. And they immediately removed the name. So I guess that this honor is going to limit my options in the future. The funny thing is, you know, my sister and her sister Sue and her husband Bill are up all the way from the Garden State, and so you know, it's you know, it's just it's a great honor, you know, especially while you're breathing, to see your name on a building. So I decided I was going to take a photo of it for my sister and send it to her. So I, you know, came up here one day and I, you know, took my iPhone out and I took a picture of it. And I sent it, but I mixed up the email address. I, you know, just started at Shawmut Construction, and so I have wwalczak@Shawmut, and my personal email is billwalczak@gmail. So I put wwalczak@gmail, and I get this note from Will Walczak in British Columbia. He sends me a note saying, you know, who are you? I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I mistakenly sent it to you. I'm sorry. And then she says, okay, but who are you? So we wound up going back and forth, and he friended me on Facebook, and then his friends and family friended me on Facebook. And so if I ever go to British Columbia, I have a place to stay now. Many friends there. So anyway, so I think you know, it really is an honor. It's a wonderful honor. But you know, I've been known to get some things done over the years, but in reality, none of that stuff happens unless you have a big supporting cast. So at this point, I want to thank my supporting cast over the years. First off, the Codman Square Health Center Board, which formed in 1975, so it was, God, a long time ago. And two members are here, the original board, Charlie O'Hara and Craig Wall, somewhere. We started in 75, but didn't open up until 1979. We used to meet in my kitchen, and so we would have our meetings there. And then we opened up in 79. We started in the basement of the old library building. But the board has been great for me because they always kept me in line. You know, I'm a guy that never saw an idea I didn't like, and so I'd want to do everything, absolutely everything. And they kept me in line, but they also never ever discouraged me from doing things that were important for this community, and I appreciate them. The Codman Academy Board elected me president back when the school started, and never said to my face that they thought it was nuts to try to pull off a building that combined a health center and a school, which never had been done, all sorts of different zoning issues and funding issues and everything else. And I appreciate the fact that they were there from the beginning and never lost faith. The staff of the health center, which always understood and believed the mission. One of the things I'm so proud of is that whenever we would ask the staff what the mission of the health center was, they all got it. We're here to improve the community. That's what our purpose is. And especially the Codman Square Health Center senior staff. You know, that I always used to say that you got to have a senior staff you could trust your life to, and I always had a senior staff I could trust my life to, and I really appreciate them. I'm so pleased that the board chose Sandra Cotterell as the CEO after I left, because, you know, I'd worked with her for 17 years. She's a person who really gets the mission of the organization. And on top of everything else, everybody knew that she really ran the health center. So for me, it was, you know, it's like, yeah, just give it to the person who was really running it. Anyway, Meg Campbell, she mentioned to it, but you know, she brought me her dream about the idea of starting a expeditionary learning school inside of a health center, and you know, which, as she said, it matched up my dream. I remember, you know, 5 years earlier saying to my board that I would love to be able to start a school, because it's so important. And then she had the inspired decision inspired decision to hire Beatty Brown as the principal, and who's been an unbelievably fantastic person to have here, and a real core person to be able to build this school up and also to add the K-8. I'd like to thank my partners and collaborators through the years, from Dot Well to Dot House, and Joel Abrams from Dot House is here. To HealthWorks, to Boston Medical Center, saw Kate earlier. Is Kate here? Kate, yeah. And all the Codman Square neighborhood groups that have been fantastic here. And of course, all of the funders that made Codman Square happen. I mean, we were able to raise, I started calculating, lost track at about $70 million over the years for this health center. And you notice that Paul Grogan is here, over here. Thank you, Paul. was enormous numbers of funders that came together partly because of vision, but also because really good people are in Codman Square and made things happen. So I've been really, really blessed to have these wonderful collaborators. I want to thank our elected and other officials, from state reps to U.S. Senator. Senator Kennedy was a great friend of this health center, always willing to make things happen for Codman Square. Mayor Menino, many communities call you a friend, but really this one owes you a debt of gratitude for everything that you've done for Codman Square over the years. And finally, I want to thank my wonderful family. My wife, Linda, is over here in the front row. She and I will be celebrating our 40th anniversary next month. We were 18. Our relationship tracks almost precisely that of... Our relationship tracks almost precisely with my relationships with the Codman Square Health Center. Frankly, I couldn't have done anything without her support and love, and my success is really her success as well. I've also had great support from my kids. Elizabeth is here, and my son Matt is in India, so what are you going to do there? So we couldn't make it back. My sister Sue and Bill, her husband Bill, as I mentioned, and Linda's family, Joanne and Rob are here representing the Johnson family. And really, it's been a wonderful family kind of thing. They've always supported all the crazy ideas that I've had. As you know, I had the tremendous luck of hiring Shawmut Design and Construction in 1993, which led to a 20-year relationship of only working with Shawmut to build the dreams of the Codman Square community. As a Dorchester zealot, see my tie? My Dorchester tie on. It would have been enough that Shawmut started in Dorchester and is actually named after Shawmut Station, for those who don't know that. But except that Shawmut is also a great builder, and as I found out, a great company to work for. That's where I am now. Shawmut has built Codman's dreams for 20 years so far, and Codman has many more dreams to fulfill. I have had the tremendous fortune to be associated with Codman Square for nearly 40 years now, and I've had the most wonderful supporting cast that has allowed this community to do what no other community has done nearly as well. This community successfully rebuilt itself after devastation caused by urban disintegration in the 1960s and 70s. There are some streets around there that had more abandoned lots than houses on them, and virtually the entire business district was a complete chaotic wreck at one point. And so this community pulled itself together and built itself up. This health center carried out the original vision of the founders of the community health center movement that founded right here in Dorchester at Columbia Point. Jack Geiger, who was here just a couple of years ago to see our school, and this health center has become a true community center and has engaged its efforts to eradicate poverty as part of its mission. We've created the first school located within a health center in the United States. We took on the responsibility of supporting families way beyond the basic missions of health and education by adding fitness and nutrition, financial literacy, civic engagement, the arts, and community development to our common missions. And we built a reputation for innovation and quality in the process. It's a great success story, but there's a lot more to do. It wouldn't be me if I didn't close with an exhortation that we never forget nor give up on our ultimate goal of these community organizations, which is to bring comfort to those in need of it, to bring opportunity to the underprivileged, to bring ideas and innovation to the programs we operate, to never forget that poverty is the major problem and disease that we fight, that ending injustice is our cause, and that we must be a model for other communities to discover and emulate, and a beacon of hope for all that come to us. Thank you very much for being here.